Dum 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 dum
Space between, space between, space between. Space between.
Hi,
Hello.
welcome back to the Space Between podcast.
Welcome back.
This is the podcast where we talk about the space between life and art, passion and business, what's happening now and what's happening next.
I haven't heard that in jeeps.
My name is Pat Shand.
My name is Amy Shand.
This is our first time recording video along with the podcast. We're streaming live, motherfucker.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be live.
It's live.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, told you. Didn't fucking
Live
listen.
after work.
Oh, yeah. Amy
I thought it
worked
was just
all
going
day.
to be a recording of our faces.
Amy worked all day. How do you feel?
Better now that I'm home. It was a long day.
Tell the folks about it.
I'm trying to get along with everyone.
Amy works at Starbucks. Oh, hey, we have Kevin. If you want to stay tuned, if you can stay tuned, I'm going to talk about your Kickstarter later going on. For those who have listened to the podcast before and are tuning back in now, I'm going to be shouting out people who chime into the live stream, okay? If you want to catch us live, we're going to be recording on Mondays and releasing the audio on Tuesdays and the video on Tuesdays as well. If you follow our YouTube, you'll see that in addition to our vlog, which is coming back soon, I've been uploading old audio episodes of our podcast. So our YouTube audience, minuscule as it is for now, because we're building out this bitch.
We're back.
We're back, is going to be tuning into the podcast
Where
as
did
well.
we go?
You know, we've been doing a lot of things. We've had some family, personal issues that we've been dealing with. And in addition to that, we've just been doing so much work. This year, we've funded, I don't want to be too much of a fucking baller right now, but let's see, Prison Witch, Afterglow, Gangster S Barista, Spooky Girls. Did we fund 4 goddamn Kickstarters?
Yeah.
pretty
And
dope.
I'm still finishing up the commissions for Kickstarter, the clay incense holders.
Yes, Amy's working on the commissions for Prison Witch because with each Kickstarter that we do, you'll know that we like to switch it up and do different things.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll do prints, sometimes enamel pins, but for Prison Witch, our goal was to do a more custom thing. So Amy's doing photo shoots, she's building clay incense holders, and she is also we're also doing personalized letters written by the characters sent to the backers.
In character, it's like as if you were like a pen pal with one of the girls in the Prison Witch cast.
Yeah, and besides the work though, if you missed our adventures, what you'll see soon is some of those adventures on the vlog. Since we've caught up to you, to a cat cafe where we met so many beautiful cats and sat with them. We ate with cats.
That was fun.
Pretty fun,
Even
right?
though it was like a year and a half late.
Yeah, Amy got me the gift to go to the cat cafe for what, Christmas?
Christmas last year. What
Last
was
year,
your gift?
and we went after my birthday in May this year. It seems to be an extended amount of time.
Worth the wait.
But beyond that too, you'll see us go to San Diego again.
With San Diego.
Yeah.
And we, like last weekend, we had your mom here to stay. That was fun. We've just been busy.
Yeah, we've been busy. We've been making stuff
Winter's
happen.
been coming, so we've been getting the cars maintained. I freaking ran over a pothole the other week. So
Yeah,
Pat
busted
had
the
to get my
tire.
tire
Busted the tire.
fixed. Fucking. I've never, until I moved to Long Island, I've never seen so many potholes.
Hey, you know what?
Swear to who?
Swear to
Yes.
who? Swear to God ass. Suffolk County has more potholes than any place I've ever seen in the world. In fact, I was driving with my mom recently, and the car began to shake violently. I didn't even fucking notice, because that's everywhere here. And Mom goes, "This road is terrible." And I was just like, "Oh yeah, that's regular.
Yeah.
That's regular."
Because she's from another county. But
Yeah, she's from Nassau, which is close to
we
us,
from the
but
sticks.
yeah, we out here in the boondocks. Boonies?
We're hanging out with Bambi.
Oh yeah, there's so many deer here.
with Koneka, right? Is that her name?
No,
No, that's Kaneko Cafe.
Canela is
yeah.
I'm not sure. Do you guys listen to or watch Brother Nature? He is this awesome guy who has a Twitter, Instagram, and Vine back when Vine was a thing. He got famous off of being this super positive guy who just goes out and feeds deer.
He loves the animals.
I love him. Oh, and the point is, he has this one doe that he loves named Canela.
No, the point is, we see deer.
Oh yeah, we see deer. I totally forgot what we were talking about. But all right, so
And we got sick, so sorry that I'm just like coughing my ass off on the podcast. Return podcast.
yeah, Amy was sick.
I can't
sick,
like get rid of this cold.
and now she's back to being sick. But I'm okay. What's wrong with you?
Everything else about me is fine, except I still just have a cough.
Now, let me tell you guys something. If you've listened to the podcast before, things are changing in minor ways. We're going to be still having conversations about our lives, as you can tell. You know, it's mostly just going to be us shooting the shit. But we're also going to hit on topics that are happening in the comics community. Because for the longest time, this podcast has been a podcast by comics creators about almost anything but comics, right? Mm-hmm. But we do want to touch on some comics things just to like stay in our field, you know, and touch on things going on and just things that we've seen in media, you know?
Yeah.
But first, I want to catch up on some of our stuff, just some minor updates for Space Between Entertainment. Prison Witch, that's off to print. It's going to be shipping to everyone in January. Afterglow, which was our Kickstarter from May, written by me and illustrated by Kaylin Smith, that is going to go to print this month, and we'll be shipping the month after Prison Witch in February. And in the meantime, we're working on Gangster Ass Barista, Spooky Girls, and we'll be launching our next Kickstarter, Destiny New York Volume 3, in February. And I also have comics in stores. You know, I have Snapflash Hustle #1. And we'll eventually do podcasts that are about those specific books when they get closer. But for now, we're just here to talk to you about us and things that we've seen and enjoyed recently.
Word.
So, anything that you want to talk about before we start to address the media stuff going on right now?
Did you write on the list the media stuff?
Yes, I did.
Just do it, and I will interject if I have anything else.
Okay, so the biggest news this week, because we can't cover everything that we missed. You know, if you guys missed it, where have you been? But we're here now talking about now. We want to be present with you, okay? The biggest news that's going on right now is the Avengers 4 trailer dropped. It's called Avengers Endgame.
Is that the one where the trailer where I was like, you brought me in here for this?
No, that was Stranger Things.
Oh, shit. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I told you I would interject.
the Stranger Things trailer was just titles in a row.
It's a dun 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 dun.
That's about it. And it gave
30 seconds or whatever.
And it gave no date. It just said 2019. It's like, yeah, you know what? Guess what?
No
I
check.
know what's coming that year. All right? It's been a while. So I knew it was coming, but there's no date. But Avengers Endgame trailer, Avengers is the one that you just cried about.
Dude. With Iron Man?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the trailer starts.
I was crying all day about that trailer.
It picks up from where Infinity War left off. And Iron Man was stranded out in space. He's now in a ship drifting alone. And he is recording his final message to Pepper Potts. And he's talking directly to her. He's lost battery. He's lost food and water. Hasn't had it for days. And he believes that the next day he'll lose oxygen and it'll be a wrap. And I didn't know. But as I was watching this trailer, my wife was next to me weeping.
Because Iron Man is my favorite. He's so good. And, yeah, in the preview, he's doing the video to Pepper
Yeah.
Potts, right?
Yeah.
It's so heart-wrenching.
Yeah, and he's been the character that we follow longest.
And it's called Endgame. The movie's called Endgame. It's too much.
I mean, it's clearly, it's going to wrap up what's been told so far.
Wanna be your endgame. Wanna be your first string.
What's that?
To like Taylor Swift or something.
Oh, that is Taylor Swift. Yeah. That's a good one.
That's gonna be the theme song for the movie.
Imagine.
It's not.
But no, yeah, I love the trailer. It was a teaser trailer. Obviously, there wasn't much to it.
That's good though, because you don't want like the whole summary to be in the trailer.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, they had some drama. They had Captain America, his face streaked with tears. They're all planning to somehow try to undo what Thanos has done. And then it ended with a little bit of humor as motherfucking Ant-Man was back in the house.
Yeah,
And,
he's cute.
Yeah, I mean, I love all the characters. The casting that Marvel has done is just, I mean, it's unbelievable. The only casting I think on par with what they've done, creatively, and just finding the perfect actor to match the character is the Harry Potter franchise. The Harry Potter franchise found, with very few exceptions, the perfect actors to capture the characters. And just to go off on a tangent,
Exceptions?
I mean, I think that, and this is no fault of theirs, obviously, but Richard Harris, who played the first Dumbledore, died during the films. So he was Dumbledore in the first two movies, and from 3 and on, you had a different actor, Michael Gambon, who was great on his own, but they have very different vibes. So that's like the one bit of disconnect between the films.
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah,
When an actor dies,
but just the idea that they cast those actors so young. And I mean, you guys have seen Haley Joel Osment, right? He was amazing as a kid actor, and now as a grown man, seeing him act in movies is just like, it's I don't want to say fucking horrendous, but he knew how to act as a kid. So for these actors to be cast as Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ron so young, and even small roles too, like Draco, I mean, he wasn't that small of a role, but Draco, Crabbe, Goyle, to evolve into the actors they did was pretty incredible. But now, a bit more comic specific. Brian K. Vaughan, the creator, the co-creator and a writer of Saga, Paper Girls, Why the Last Man, Ex Machina, and so much more, has signed a development deal with Legendary Studios. And that means he's going to be developing new ideas for them, as well as adapting some of his other work, such as Saga, probably. I mean, if I were Legendary, the property I would most want to tackle is Saga. That's been his magnum opus ever since he began it. It's been this beautiful work. And I'm excited to see his work in film, because he actually wrote for Lost, which Amy and I are rewatching right now. He wrote for Lost from season 4 and on, and I think that he is, if not the defining voice in comics right now, one of the biggest, most powerful voices in comics. And I mean, yeah, we both really love his stuff,
Yeah, Sorry, I'm tired from work, but I like Saga.
Yeah,
It's very good.
definitely.
I think he's super, super talented. So.
And in much more deep cut news, this isn't news that maybe many of our viewers will have heard, or things that comics writers and artists would know that maybe the audience doesn't. But Chris Ryall, who was for a while the editor-in-chief of IDW, left the company, and he was he began to work with Skybound, which is Robert Kirkman's company. But now Ryall is coming back to IDW, and he's in charge of everything pretty much. He's publisher, president, he's everything. He is the guy in charge. And he's a great writer. He's a great person. And he's actually... Chris is one of the main forces in my first ever gig and why I got comics at all. And why I got to work in comics at all. So I'm very grateful to him and excited to see him back to the company that he helped build up from nothing into what it is today, which is one of the biggest giants in comics publishing. So yeah, I'm very excited for that. And in news that you will probably want to talk about a bit more, a new album came out this week.
Oh yeah, the XXX one.
Yes, we heard it once.
To it, but I wanted to I would want to listen to it one more time, but so far it's good. It's short.
Wait, let's say what it is first.
Oh, go ahead.
It's the new album by a rapper, XXX Tentacion, the hardest name to say in the world. He died this past
You can
year.
just say triple X.
Triple X, but they don't know that, you know? Or maybe a few of you do. But I found in comics, there's this weird lack of an overlap. It's two circles, you know? There's no Venn diagram overlap between comics and hip-hop. Hip-hop loves comics. Wu-Tang talks about comics all the time. Eminem loves comics, but comics doesn't always reciprocate. You know, comics creators I find are more into heavy metal, and that is just so not my bag. I can't relate. I grew up on hip hop. I'm a hip hop head. I love it. That's what I listen to mostly. You know, I mean, I love check this combination. I love indie rock, like singer songwriter type shit, and hip hop. That's my shit right there. And to be able to talk to a few comics creators has been cool. Like, I know that Kurt Pyers, who has a new book dropping from Dark Horse next month, he's a big hip hop head. But as far as you motherfuckers listening right now, you know what? You guys, you're metal heads. What's that about? Metal? Is metal still made these days? I don't know. But
Why don't they write their favorite kind of music in the comments if they want?
Yeah, right?
Or like a band.
Yeah, drop your favorite band in the live stream comments, or if you want to...
And we'll listen to it, and we'll talk about it on the next episode.
Exactly. Oh, got some comments rolling in, too. Someone says, he is the nicest dude ever, Chris Ryle. That's Kevin. Hey, Kevin, is your last name Cuffy or Cuff? Tell me the pronunciation now, so when I plug your Kickstarter... It'll be right. All right. But yeah, the album, we heard it once, you know,
It's good.
it's about 20 minutes long, you know,
Yeah.
it's short.
But we were talking, like, as it was going, we were talking about how we, like how his songs are sometimes concise.
Right.
And they just, like, are the perfect length because they just fit. Like, if they were, I feel like if they were any longer, they would be redundant, maybe?
Right.
I don't know.
No, I mean, like, he's a different breed of rapper than, say, I mean, we're just talking about Wu-Tang and Eminem. When I grew up, a rap song was 3 verses and a chorus. And then,
like, on Kamikaze, Eminem's, like, song, like, the first song on that album is, like, almost 6 minutes long.
right, and yeah, Eminem has also, like, kind of broken out of the 3-verse chorus thing, too. Like, now, as Amy was saying, on Kamikaze, it starts with just one song that's just bars. No chorus, just straight bars. He has a flow switch a few times, you know. But yeah, this new rap era has definitely, it's open...
Shut the fuck up.
It's opened up structure a lot, you know. Like, now, structure has changed from 3-verse chorus in between each one to, what Eminem could do as far as just bars. And now what X did for that matter, as far as like he'll start a song. Sometimes a song will be 4 lines of his, right? Or just maybe like a hook, a chorus, hook again. No, hook, verse, hook, end. Or maybe just hook, verse, end, right? Like it's very open as far as structure goes.
He does that on the Question Mark album a little bit, but this album was even more like short.
Definitely.
But I want to listen to it again because we listened to it when we were driving with your mom, so we were like talking to her too and stuff.
Yeah.
Which was because we had just picked her up and we hadn't seen her for the week, so it was kind of like I was listening to it but not listening to it.
Right.
But I want to like fully listen to it because I want to hear it again.
And plus too, there's this conversation that Jay-Z started. It was a few years ago on the Breakfast Club. He was talking about how in the past, a musician would turn over an album to the label, and then the label would have it for a while. They would ship it to magazines, and reviewers would have it for months before it came out. So a reviewer could sit with an album for a long time before it came out. Our cat Neil is here. Hey, Neil.
That's why I was like...
Amy was luring him here. So in the past, a reviewer who's doing an expose on an album, they could sit with that record for a long time. Now there's this rush to get a reaction out. So like right now, I'm forming my feelings about what the albums that came out this spring and summer were. You know, like now I can talk about Drake's Scorpion. I can talk about Pusha T's Daytona. I can talk about Kanye's Ye, Nas's Nasir. But I do also, I value the immediate reaction, but I think that as far as like the final thoughts on an album, I heard Jay-Z's 444 album once. I thought it was okay, right? Listen to it 20 times, and to me, it's the album of the year. It took that long for me to absorb what he's trying to say, his thesis. But yeah, I think I do want to kind of do both. Hold on, my computer just did a weird thing. I want to do both and talk about the immediacy and the long-term reaction to media.
Amen.
Oh my God. Okay.
Just kidding.
Neil's distracting me.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is this big fat cat, right? Gee.
Who was lured here by my wife.
I wanted him here, but I regret the decision. Okay.
All right. So listen, one more bit of media before we get into the Kickstarter of the week. Okay. I'm gonna read this from the actual paper.
He's got the script.
I do. Jordan Peele, of Key and Peele fame, of motherfucking Get Out fame, one of the best films of...
What's that cat movie he was in?
Oh my God. That's what you think of? I mean, it's a good film. I don't remember the name, but it was very good. Jordan Peele. He wrote and directed Get Out. That was his big breakout as a serious film director. He has a film called Us coming out. And it's about a mother and a father take their kids to the beach house expecting to unplug and unwind with friends. But as night descends, their serenity turns to tension and chaos when some shocking visitors arrive uninvited. That's so vague. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be really cool. And I don't want to know what it's about, right? Because like Jordan Peele's films are going to be about something deeper, right? Are you here?
Yeah, sorry. I get distracted because I'm not used to being live.
Don't read that shit.
Keanu, thank you,
Keanu
Kevin. Oh my,
There we
no,
go.
I'm gonna read this because Kevin is an active member of this podcast right now.
Okay.
First of all, his name is Cuff Silent E.
There we go.
I just want you to know. And then we got Lost Ones, probably a band, and Lynn Santos, of course, loves 444.
Yes.
All right, moving on. Sorry. It's cool to have friends here, right?
It is.
But anyways.
It's cool to have friends, but we also can't lose sight of the people who are going to be listening to us afterwards.
Word.
But yeah, Jordan Peele's Get Out was amazing to me. That was it was a horror film that was about something, and it kept me guessing at every angle what was going to happen.
I love movies that make me feel like at edge. Like
Definitely.
It was so eerie.
Yeah, it's like there's the trend in horror films to make you think but not care, but Jordan Peele manages to do both. I cared what happened to the characters, and he had that one character who goes to the police and they laugh at him, and he was a very comedic character, but he also got to be a hero. I love multifaceted characters who can be both comic relief and also a real person too. So I'm looking forward to his movie, and reading the synopsis, it could be about literally anything. But yeah.
Some unexpected visitors?
Yes.
Like, does that mean like from outer space or
exactly? It could be anything.
Burglars? Who knows?
I mean, my mind goes to that one film, The Strangers. Do you remember that film?
Give me a little hint. I know
All
the
right.
name.
A couple that's struggling, right? They go to this cabin, playing this romantic song a lot, trying to reconnect, and they go to bed, and the cabin is assailed by these young people in masks.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, like clownish masks, like not like a direct clown type thing like it, but like clowny masks, and yeah.
I remember that.
It was just straight up thrills the whole time, I mean, I liked it, but I see Jordan Peele doing something like that, but deeper,
Right. Yeah. More like with a psychological twist to it.
Yeah.
Word.
Yeah. So the Kickstarter of the week right now. I dropped it.
Script?
I dropped it.
Oh, Lloyd.
So, Here's what we're going to be doing. Because we've built so much of our audience on Kickstarter, and you guys have pretty much empowered us to do what we do by pledging to our Kickstarters, I want to spotlight our favorite Kickstarters every week and point some of our listeners and now viewers to these Kickstarters. Okay? Now, we have Kevin Cuff with a silent goddamn E. Real E's moving sounds like lasagna.
Now he knows.
Yeah, now I know. Chase the Moon is a horror werewolf story going on Kickstarter right now. There are currently only a few days left. And it's a beautiful book, too. Kevin is writing it with Bob France. And Kevin and Bob wrote the recent Metal Shark Bro Kickstarter, which was a roaring success. What?
Can I read that part?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, here is the synopsis of Chase the Moon.
All right, ready? Chase the Moon. Should I read who it's by? Obviously, Kevin Cuff,
Yes.
Bob France, and Drew Moss.
Yes, Drew's the artist.
It's Halloween 1986. Witches, vampires, mummies, and ghouls are everywhere. Among these creatures is Jason, a werewolf whose life is nothing but conflict. As a member of the Lunatics, an infamous wolf gang, Jason is locked in a constant life or death struggle with the other horrific crews that prowl the streets and the special police units that hunt them. Ooh, that sounds good.
That's much less vague than Jordan Peele shit. Jordan Peele, get with the picture.
It's less vague, but it's cool because it's not like this and this and this happens.
Right. No,
I want to read that.
Well, you will get to because we've already pledged.
Nice.
Now, if you haven't pledged, if you don't know how Kickstarter works, here's what happens. Creators put a book, an idea, some art onto this website, Kickstarter. People pledge to it and hopefully bring their idea to life as an actual book. It's like pre-orders meets helping to make the book. You know, it's if the book doesn't get funded, you don't get charged. But if you pledge and the book does get funded, it'll function as a pre-order. Kevin, Bob, and Drew are going to for sure deliver. The book looks amazing. The art that's already going on looks great. And as a fellow Kickstarter creator myself, I love to see people using the platform in creative ways and making good use of the platform. Because there are some creators who will just kind of like slot together an idea, just throw up something that they clearly aren't passionate about. This project reeks of passion, and that's what I want. Because the truth is, we may at some point use this platform, the Kickstarter of the Week idea, to clown some of you. We might clown some of you motherfuckers.
You are the Kickstarter.
Yeah, of the day. Yeah, I saw a Kickstarter recently for a toothbrush type deal where you have to open up your mouth to fit in this big thick thing and bite down on it, and it cleans your teeth like instantly.
What?
But it looks like it could fucking kill you.
I'm trying to get that Quip.
Yeah, Amy wants to get Quip. This podcast is not sponsored by Quip.
They're not, but if anyone has one, I'm curious. I see them at Target all the time, and I've never spent more than like $15. No, like $8 on a toothbrush. So...
I mean, I'm comfortable in the $8 toothbrush.
Me too,
field.
but like, I listen to enough podcasts to want the Quip.
I mean, yeah, it's true. We are like suckers.
Every podcast.
We are suckers. We've listened to podcasts, and I've bought into the HelloFresh craze.
That shit works.
HelloFresh is so good.
Dude, first of all, commercials for podcasts work.
It's true.
Second of all, HelloFresh works.
I mean...
Okay, this is not a sponsored podcast.
It's true.
All.
I am about 2 episodes of congratulations away from getting some MeUndies.
He talks about them all the time.
They're made of micro-mobic fabric.
It's like better than cotton.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 10 times softer than cotton.
Even I know that, and I'm just listening from the other room. But anyway.
Yeah, but anyway.
Pat's gonna make HelloFresh tonight.
Yes.
I'm really excited.
In fact, I'm gonna make it right now.
And we're gonna. Oh, you're done?
We're wrapping up.
You're fucking done?
We're wrapping the fuck up.
You're fucking done.
Do you have anything else to say?
Nah.
Well,
just that we're watching Sharp Objects, and it's really good.
Yes. And you know what? Let's talk next week about Dollhouse, too, because we just finished watching Dollhouse.
Yeah.
I'm rewatching. Amy's watching for the first time. But I want to say this to you. This is our first time trying out this new mode of podcasts. As we get used to this, it's going to be smoother. We're going to be able to talk to you guys a bit more while also keeping the podcast moving a bit more, and also, in addition to just doing this, I'm going to bring on some guests too, I see us filming in 2 locations. We're going to film and record here in Coram, and when we have a guest, we'll probably go out to Freeport and film and record there.
I would like to have Shannon back soon.
For sure, yeah. Shannon isn't going to be in every episode, but when Shannon can come and guest, she'll absolutely be here. But I will tell you guys this. I already have our first guest lined up for the podcast. And Amy doesn't even know about it. That's how fucking fresh this news is. This hot fire freshness, okay?
Who is it?
I'm not going to announce it yet.
Oh, it's a surprise.
I'll tell you afterwards. Oh, actually, before we do go, I want to talk about this. I posted about this online today. Licensed comics, right? I got into reading comics when Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel were announced to continue in comics. And I just wanted to reiterate how important these comics are. I found that when I was first reading comics, licensed comics were taken a bit more seriously by creators. They were a bit more prominent. But now there are very few, I see a lot of kids' properties, like Adventure Time, being taken seriously as comics, and that's great. But I just want to say, if our industry loses sight of how many new readers can come into comics by a TV show tie-in, we might be missing out on some great new readers. Because I wouldn't have known what was going on in comics if I hadn't read Buffy first, and then branched off to some of Brian K. Vaughan's work, some of Alan Moore's work, and that's what was going on now in comics. So I think that it's very important for creators to realize now that books like Doctor Who, Stranger Things, those comics are more likely to bring in a new reader than almost any comic out there, right? So even if it's not your dream idea, even if superhero comics as work for hire pays more and is being taken more seriously, licensed work can get you lifetime fans. The Charmed fans, as much as they shit on me, some of them fucking ride for me, okay? So, I'll leave you with that licensed comics are a big deal, okay? It sounds like a small thing to kind of harp on, but if I hadn't had discovered those comics, I wouldn't have my career as it is now, both as a writer, as far as getting the opportunity to work on some great licensed properties, but for sure as a reader, for sure. So, I'm always talking big shit about how important creator-owned is, but I do want to hammer into you guys too. Licensed comics, super important, big gateway for new readers that we sorely fucking need. Okay? I love you.
Thank you for joining us.
That's all.
We're so glad to be back, and we are going to fucking get our acts together.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get some weekly things going on. We're gonna have some guests, like he said, and we're super glad to be back. And yeah, Mondays and Tuesdays.
And hey, guess what? The outro that we used to do.
Oh, I wanted to say one more thing.
Okay, yeah.
And
go.
it's gonna help me remember.
I'll get back to this in a second.
Sorry.
You go. No.
I'm going because The Voice, NBC's The Voice is coming to New York City, which is only like 2 hours away from where we live. So I'm going to request the day off.
Yes.
Within the next 9 days, and I'm going to be auditioning for that. So if anyone who is listening to the podcast has any suggestions for songs that I should sing for the audition, Pat and I are going to be going to the city on January 19th, and I'm going to be auditioning for The Voice.
Yes.
And I'll let you know how it goes. Even if I don't make it to whatever, it's still going to be a really fun experience. We're going to go into the city and do that shit. So just let me know if you have any suggestions for songs that I should sing, anything that, if you have any tips, or if any of you have any experience with like auditioning for things like that before. That is something that is coming up for me. So just saying. It's
true. We're going to go there to the audition, and Amy's going to blow the fucking doors off. It's going to be great.
According to Pat. Always.
According to me. No, she's an amazing singer. And if they don't agree, I got some fucking smoke for them.
But Oh, it's gonna be such a bummer because I always sing better when I'm not in front of anyone or when I'm just in front of you. So I just have to like work on my nerves.
Just picture them all as me and naked.
That might work.
So listen,
Thanks, Kevin.
we're wrapping up right now.
Thanks, Lynn.
Thanks to everyone who watched live. Thanks to everyone who's listening now. And I just want to say, the outro that we used to do, we're not fucking doing it anymore. You know why?
We're not?
We're keeping it raw out this bitch.
Oh, shit.
Raw. Uncircumcised. Uncut.
We're just saying goodbye.
We're just saying goodbye and I love you.
I love you.
I love you. That's it.
All right, so see you next Monday. Space between.